Welcome to the Veterinary Marketing Podcast, where it's all about helping your veterinary practice attract, engage, and retain clients. Broadcasting a new podcast every Monday from sunny Southern California, here's your host, Brandon Bashirs.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to episode number 135 of the Veterinary Marketing Podcast. I hope you're doing fantastic. Today, we're going to be talking about a new tool that I've developed for you that's going to help you turn your waiting areas into a marketing opportunity. So this is something that's pretty cool. This is what I've been working on for the past several weeks, getting it ready for everybody. I did a very small launch webinar and it went well. The feedback was really cool. So I'm excited to talk about this on the podcast finally. That's kind of where my hiatus has been. I've been just working like crazy, but today's episode is going to be great. I think you're going to love it. Before we begin, I just want to mention a few things. First, if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe in iTunes or on Google Play. I would really appreciate it. And if you could do me a huge favor, please be sure to leave me an honest review. Another thing that is, if you need help with anything marketing related for your veterinary practice, a great place to go is my Facebook group. So if you go to facebook.com/the veterinary marketing or /groups/the veterinary marketing nerds, or if you search for veterinary marketing nerds, you will see a group that you can join. We talk about digital marketing there. If you have questions, you can get feedback from tons of smart people. So it's a great place to engage and connect with other people in the veterinary industry who are also marketing their practice. Okay, so let's get into today's episode. So as I mentioned, this is a new tool that I've been really working on and developing, and I'm pretty excited about it. So it basically is set up so that it helps to turn your waiting areas into a marketing opportunity. And as I mentioned, this is something that I've been working on really hard. So the last episode I published was in May 30th. It's August now. This will be published August 5th. And so I've been working on this pretty hard in general. And so what this is a tool that I call Vet Wifi. And if you go to vetwifi.com, you can find out more there. But I'm going to be talking about some special offers for you guys who are podcast listeners and subscribers that aren't going to be available at vetwifi.com. So if you just want to listen through here, if this sounds like something that you'd be interested in, and I think this is something that's going to work really well, specifically for small animal practices that have waiting rooms, lobbies, or any kind of wait time in general. I've spoken with a few people who have like mobile equine practices. This I don't think really helps with those typically large animal practices. So I think it's specifically set up to be a good opportunity for small animal practices, or if you have a waiting area with your clients that are waiting. So what is this new tool that I've developed? Well, it is a social Wi-Fi portal for veterinary practices. And what that means is that when somebody comes into your practice, and let's say you offer free Wi-Fi, instead of just having like a protected password where people have to ask, it's basically using the same tools that like Panera Bread, Target, Starbucks, and other large brick and mortar companies use. And if you've been to Starbucks in the past, I don't know, about 3 months or so, you'll notice that in order to log into their Wi-Fi, you need to give them your email address. And once you do that, then you're logged in and it'll automatically remember. But when you do log into their Wi-Fi, they're doing several things. They're collecting contact data, they're pixeling you, and they're then going to be remarketing to you and things. Now, that's exactly what my solution does for your practice. So here's how it works. Somebody comes into the practice, and typically I suggest that people advertise that they have free Wi-Fi. And by the way, inside of Facebook and also in Yelp, there's a spot to advertise that you have free Wi-Fi, which is cool. That's actually a brand new setting inside of Facebook that came online about May. So it helps you to be a free Wi-Fi hotspot and helps with your exposure as a page there. But once they connect, it then takes them to a confirmation page where they agree to terms. And then once they agree to terms, they have to log in to access the free Wi-Fi. So they can log in either with their email address, they can log in with their phone number, get a text message, they can do Messenger, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, a bunch of other social integrations that allow them to log in. Now, when they log in, what happens is you collect all of their contact data. So you get their name, phone number, email, birthday. It typically depends on the app that you're using. If you're using email to log in, then you're not going to get birthday and things, but you can customize whatever information that you want to get. I suggest using Facebook because that's one of the easiest ways to get people to opt in. And based on the data that I've seen so far coming in, Facebook is like 92% of all. When people are given all these different options, it's like 92% of logins are done with Facebook. So once they log in, it then takes them to a confirmation page. And on this confirmation page, you can put anything you'd like there. So what I typically do is put up, for example, a Facebook page, so then they can hit that like button and like your Facebook page. And then after that, it will redirect them to either your website, a special offer page. It can redirect them to a messenger bot. It can redirect them to an app download if your practice has an app. And really, there's tons of flexibility and customization that can happen. So if you're interested and you want to find out more about what this looks like specifically, I know we're talking about this, but I think this is pretty cool, and it's something that seriously every practice should be doing. So what's so cool about this is that you get to track things like never before. So one of the biggest problems that I've had specifically for my veterinary clients is trying to attribute where exactly these clients are coming from, especially with the practices that are busy. So if you have a practice that's busy and you're trying to figure out where everybody's coming from, but you have just like a hard time in general figuring out, are these people coming from my Google AdWords? Are they coming from my Facebook campaigns? We see a lot of activity on Facebook campaigns, but it's hard to tell where these people are actually coming from. And so what's so cool about this is that you can collect all their contact data, but then you can also place pixels from both Facebook. You can put Google Tag Manager pixels. And if you're not sure what pixels are a little piece of JavaScript that runs on the web page, and then it identifies the browser. And with multi-device tracking, specifically with Google AdWords and things, you're able to tell the path that your client took to get there. So, for example, if you have somebody new who sees a Google ad and they click on it and then they end up coming in, let's say that they don't necessarily push any buttons on your website, but they do end up coming in. That's going to be tracked and attributed to the campaign that they came from. On Facebook, there's now an objective, which is a conversion type, which is called in-store visits. And so in order for them to hit in-store visits, you can also have a pixel that you assign to in-store visits. And when they come in, it attributes that person's visit to a specific piece of content or specific ad set, right? So kind of what that means in a very simplified format is these people that are coming in, you're able to tell if they log into the Wi-Fi where they came from, if they came from something like an ad or a search term or things like that, which is really, really cool. You couldn't do that before. There are other ways to do that, including uploading your list through your point of sale software, and then you have to format it in a certain way. It's very difficult to do. And so what's happening is that actually there are platform-specific Wi-Fi options like this. Like, for example, Yelp is offering Yelp Wi-Fi. And they're set up specifically only for Yelp. And my platform is for all kinds of other integrations, including Google, Facebook, and you can also do Yelp and other things like that. So typically, here's kind of the benefits and things that you can use this for specifically. So the person comes in, inside of the packages that I have, part of it is that we create branded stickers that says free Wi-Fi. And also, sometimes people don't want to sign into free Wi-Fi, so you might want to incentivize them to do that. So if you collect their contact data, you get to pixel them, and you get to see what ads or advertisements they came from. I think that that's definitely valuable information. So if you say, log in to Wi-Fi to get a free nail trim or some kind of a free goodie bag or some kind of incentive to actually get them to take action and log into the Wi-Fi. I think it's super valuable, and if you're thinking about doing this, I would suggest having some kind of incentive for them to log in. I will say, though, that for the average practice that I've been working with, they'll have about a 30% login rate. So people, especially if wait times are long, if they're sitting there, they'll log into Wi-Fi, and so that's pretty cool. So they come in, they log into Wi-Fi, you pixel them, you get to redirect them to wherever you want. So if they have an app or something, again, you can do that. And then you can also send them to specific social properties to drive social engagement. So that is pretty cool in general. The other thing that's pretty cool too is that once they're in, you can track how many times they've come into the practice because their phone will automatically connect to your Wi-Fi network. So the first time they have to log in, if their phone is set up like almost every phone is, the next time they come in, their phone will automatically connect to this. So you're able to track repeat visitors and things. It does have functionality that you can build like a loyalty card, which is just like a stamp card, but it's not specifically, I don't think stamp cards are good uses of loyalty. I think that has better applications for other businesses. So let's talk about how this works from a technical standpoint. So the first thing that it does is that we send you, and I will send you, if you're interested in this, a Wi-Fi router. So it's a piece of hardware that goes in. It's very simple to set up. You just plug it into your wireless area network. There's only one port to plug in. If you have a large practice, you're going to need probably like a mesh network. So most of the Wi-Fi routers that I use for practices, they're specifically smaller than, say, about 2,100 square feet. And so one specific router will work. If you have a big practice, you're going to need what's called a mesh network. And so that's multiple routers that communicate with each other and they hand people off. So specifically, based on kind of your needs and your practice size and how many people you have in on average that will be on the Wi-Fi network, suggest kind of the piece of hardware. But the hardware has software preloaded on it that is branded. And so all of the campaigns that pop up, so when people pop up your Wi-Fi, it is branded so that it looks like it's your practice. It has your practice colors, your practice logo, and it feels like it's your practice. So it adds to your professionalism for sure. So both of those things come preset ready to go. So all you have to do is plug in to your Wi-Fi modem, and then your internet modem, and then Wi-Fi is broadcast throughout your practice. So it's pretty cool because you can export all of these contacts and put them into your email marketing software, or basically put the contacts and the contact data anywhere that you want to. It's really cool too because it has integration with specifically all of the major email marketing systems, so like MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, and also integrates with Zapier so that it can be connected basically to any web app out there. So that's really, really cool. The other thing that this does is it can trigger automation based on the time that they've connected to the Wi-Fi. So for example, let's say that they come in. You can then set up automation so that they get email messages that says, thanks so much for coming in. We just want to make sure everything went perfectly. If it didn't, please let us know so we can make it right. If it did, here's a link to get a review. I think that's a super good idea in general. If you wanted to as well, you could actually redirect them. Once they log in, they can get redirected to a review page if you wanted to. So there's a lot of customization that is possible with this. And I think that it needs to be set up based on specifically what you're looking to do, the areas that you need to grow, and the different campaign objectives that you're looking to do. So if you want to see more about this, I know this is kind of like a promotional episode where I just talk about a marketing tool, but I think that this is super huge for a few reasons. First, pixel audiences are so important. These are your most captive and engaged audience that you have. And so building up pixel audiences, it just helps across the board to get lower cost per action on all of the marketing that you do. So if you wanted to do, for example, a dental month offer, you could then be showing your dental month ads to people who've actually been in your practice, right? That's super valuable. The other thing that's super valuable is you can build lookalike audiences out of these pixel audiences. So, these are specifically giving content and information to these different advertising platforms, which have really sophisticated algorithms to figure out what are the common elements between all of these people, and then how do we find more people that are just like that. And when I do marketing campaigns for my agency clients that are large ad spends per month, 100% the best audiences that we have for building out new customers are pixel audiences directly from, your lookalike audiences of pixel audiences. So if you're not building pixel audiences, you got to start, because it's going to help you to just really, really build your digital marketing return on investment. I think that pixel audiences are the most underused marketing tool out there right now. So that's a really big thing. Making sure that, number two, the next thing that I think this is such a big deal for is building your email list is so important, especially when there's changes to algorithms and when you're on platforms, you're investing time and money. You just don't really know when something's going to change again, like it did earlier this year when organic distribution went away. And so building your lists of own media just helps to provide stability. And so whenever you can send out an email and get people to come in, it's really, really valuable. And so chances are, if you have a really busy practice, your staff is probably overwhelmed as it is, and so collecting emails might not be on the top of their list. Or if it is, it might sometimes slip through the cracks. And so this helps to do that automatically, and it doesn't really require any more workload. So anytime that you can build systems that does tasks specifically that get kind of forgotten about or maybe considered lower priority, I think that that's huge, because building your email list for your veterinary practice is 100% one of the most important things that you can do in your practice. So if you're interested at all in checking this out, again, the website is vetwifi.com. But if you send me a message on my Facebook page and say, hey, I want to see what this looks like, I'll send you a demo of specifically what it would look like for your practice, a few options, and I'll also send you a special offer. So the pricing is going to be a lot higher on vetwifi.com, but if you mention episode number 135, I have a special offer for you. So be sure to send me a message. And if you have any questions about this, be sure to reach out in general. You can also go to my Facebook group, as I mentioned in the beginning, and ask a question there. I think I'll probably be doing a demo of VetWifi in the group. So anyways, if you have any questions, comments, need help with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. I hope that you enjoyed this week's episode. I think this is a really powerful tool that will help you grow your veterinary practice. So thanks for listening, everybody, and I'll talk to you really soon. Have a great day.